Okay, sorry for the delay. I'll call this the March the 25th, 2021 special meeting to order. Could I have roll call, please?
Yes, Director Wilkins,
Here.
Director Smelser,
Here.
Director Tresson,
Here.
and Director Lewis is not with us at the moment and will be joining late.
Okay, so at this stage of the game, let's all stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, moving along. First item on the agenda is public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board at this time may do so. Rochelle, go ahead, please.
So I have already distributed public comment that was received and emailed it to the board for their consideration. And at this time, we have Jane Davis who would like to provide public comment. Go ahead, Jane.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. This is Jane Davis. I've been following the issues at TTSA since last summer through both Moonshine Inc. and the TTSA Tribune with increasing concern. As you go into closed session of this special board meeting, I hope you'll consider this. 1, LaRue Griffin has been the general manager for the last 6 years. During that time, according to the reporting from Moonshine Inc., nearly 80% of your staff has left, taking valuable knowledge and experience with them. 2, in the 7 years before LaRue Griffin became general manager, TTSA had 1 violation. In his 6 years as general manager, there have been 23 violations. From low pH to turbidity to coliform bacteria to failure to calibrate flow meters, Mr. Griffin has blamed anybody and everybody, but he has never once accepted responsibility. 3, in the 6 years that LaRue Griffin has been general manager, employee morale has plunged, and TTSA has spent $1.2 million in legal fees defending the agency from complaints by current and former employees, with litigation still pending. That is money that has come directly out of our ratepayer pockets. 4, there is no end in sight. Complaints are arising in all directions. More light is being shined on TTSA, whether it's questionable medical reimbursements or improper contracting or consultants who provide bad data or swastikas. Everything that TTSA does is now being put under the microscope and subjected to heightened scrutiny. So as you go into closed session, I wish you would ask yourselves, is all of this what you want? Is it really worth it to you? Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. And next we have Lon Peterson. Go ahead, Mr. Peterson.
Good morning. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Board of Directors, my name is Lon Peterson. I was a recent employee of TTSA for over 22 years. I worked under many of you for a long period of time. I was hired in 1993. My last day was January 19, 2016. That day, LaRue Griffin called me into his office and terminated me and had me escorted off the premises. I became the first person affected by LaRue Griffin's intimidation style of management. I do have fond memories of TTSA. My first 9 years were spent in the operations department. I received my grade 1 and 2 certifications. The following 13 plus years, I worked in the maintenance department, where I had also earned my grade 1 and grade 2 certifications. I worked primarily in the paint shop until my dismissal. My maintenance superintendents over the years were Ron Trudeau, Bob Snyder, Brent Gogan, foremans Tom Koking, Ben Malone, Mike Babb. Sadly, times had changed. LaRue Griffin became the general manager and Vince Wilderman was promoted to maintenance supervisor. Prior, I had always received satisfactory job performance evaluations, and I was often told that much of my work was exemplary. I enjoyed my work and took pride in it. To my disbelief, my work productivity of almost 22 years was viewed as no longer adequate. I'm expressing this to you because of the proven, documented facts of my wrongful termination. For many years, I had been the object of Vince Wilderman's ridicule, intimidation, and harassment, both verbally and physically. It became well known in the agency of his actions. He was assertive in his expressions of untruths and outright lies about me and my work practices. He made it known to others of his dislike for me. Regardless, I tried to work and communicate with Vince and do all that was asked of me at all times. In June of 2015, Vince Wilderman and LaRue Griffin, the new general manager, was present for the maintenance department meeting. Mr. Griffin asked, "Are there any concerns now that Vince is the new maintenance superintendent?" Immediately, everyone in attendance expressed that there was major problems in our department. We all are the subjects of Vince's harassment. It was brought out, and Lon, myself, is the main target, thus giving Mr. Griffin the perfect opportunity to correct our hostile work environment. He did nothing. The following months became a whirlwind of false accusations against my character and my work ethics. I was presented with an unsatisfactory evaluation. I went to LaRue and explained that it was all untrue and I was doing my job. LaRue, he gave me the opportunity to take him throughout the treatment plant, show him all my completed work. LaRue expressed to me that day, "Just keep doing your job and everything will be okay." In the end, that would prove to be a lie. LaRue Griffin and Vince's further actions made it clear that they were determined to terminate me. They followed a protocol for termination. First, poor evaluation. Second, the oral write-up. Third, the written write-up. Fourth, the performance improvement program. Fifth, last chance agreement. And then final termination. With each write-up, I went directly to LaRue and I would explain the truths in detail, proving that these accusations of me were false. In each case, I would follow up with an oral and written statement of what happened, but nothing further would prove to be of a benefit to my 22 plus years of service at TTSA. I asked LaRue for a transfer to the opening in operations, a lateral position that I had previously had. LaRue told me that I would not be transferred and there was no more talk about it. At that point, out of fear for my job, I began documenting everything with my phone. I took audio, video, and photos of every situation and of my work assignments from start to finish, proving I was meeting all the requirements of my position. Even my foreman at the time, Jim Redmond, expressed to LaRue Griffin,
Mr. Peterson, I'm sorry, but your time has run out. It has been 5 minutes. Would you please give your closing statement so we can finish up?
my closing thought, yes?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I had nowhere to turn. They had no human resource department at the time. Under fear and panic, I applied for my retirement because it was all I was able to do because I was faced with termination. So, you know, what actions were taken for all of this for LaRue? Nothing. I encourage you, Board of Directors, TTSA, please do the right thing. Restore the dignity of TTSA, a prior employment, a career for my life. Restore that dignity to TTSA and to you, the board. Do not renew LaRue Griffin's contract.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. I have no one else with their hand up to.
Can I, sorry, I was trying to find my hand up thing here.
Go ahead, Pippin.
Thank you. I'll be really quick. You guys all know my stance. I don't need to bore you with that. But I will. I guess I had a quick process question. In the past, and after executive sessions, you have not gone back and you've waited till the next meeting to kind of give a summary of what you've decided. And I understand from Richard that that is sort of the correct protocol given these times. But I guess I was sort of wondering whether that would stay in place for this meeting, or whether there would be a different protocol, whether I should wait on this meeting and you go back in public session.
That is correct. There will be no returning to the meeting, and it will be addressed in our next meeting on April 21st.
Okay, next, Rochelle.
Does anyone have any public comment? Please raise your hand at the bottom of your screen. Under your screen reaction, you can raise your hand for public comment. At this time, I have no one else raising their hand to submit public comment. And we can move forward into closed session.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to move this meeting, if there's nothing else to be heard from the public, into closed session to discuss the matter on the agenda.
Okay.
Rochelle?
Yes,
Richard?
I'll go ahead and move the Board of Directors and Agency Council into the breakout rooms to commence with closed session, and I'll remain out. And if Director Lewis is able to link up, I will forward him into that room for you. Okay,
Okay,
all right, here you go.